Hello, my friends. For today's beer review, we're going to be taking a look at Founder's Curmudgeon. Founder's Curmudgeon is one of Founder's Brewery's specialty beers, and if you guys didn't know, so far at least Founder's has been my absolute favorite brewery of all time. There's not a single beer I've tried from them that I didn't think was not just good, but phenomenal, so I'm very excited to try this. Never once have I tried this or even heard of it till I saw it for sale. The description of this is an old ale brewed with molasses and oak aged. And as far as the statistics of this go, it is a 9.8% huge beer. Be careful drinking this one. You're probably going to feel it after one. Two's probably going to get you where you're wanting to go if you're wanting to go somewhere. I'm going to leave it at that. 50 IBUs. It is going to be on a little bit on the bitter side. Not quite like an Irish stout. Sort of right. Maybe kind of like an Irish stout level on the IBUs as far as bitterness goes. And from the commercial descriptions that I've read, this is a beer that has absolutely no hop profile. It's all malts and molasses. Really nice artwork on the front. I guess we have a surly curmudgeon on the label here. And so without further ado, I'm going to get the cap off and give it a smell and a taste. I'm going to be drinking this once again out of the Duvel glass. I like to use this for darker beers and bigger beers because it displays aromas really well. And so I'm going to get the cap off now. And into the glass we go. Straight out of the glass, it has an orangish amber copper color. See if we can get a head on this. Pretty big beer, so it doesn't have a whole lot of head potential. We're getting about a half finger of off-white head. I have a feeling it's probably going to dissipate. It's become kind of medium-sized soapy bubbles, so the head's probably not going to stick around for long. Up into the light, though, it is a very murky, let's let you guys see here. It's a very murky, kind of a dark orange copper color. Looks very good in the glass. So it's not too terribly filtered because of the murkiness. So let's smell it and see what we can pick apart from this. Yeah, it's malty. It is very malty. Yeah, I can't believe it. There's no hop profile, at least as far as the smell goes. I'm picking up on almost milk stout characteristics to it. It has kind of a light, milky kind of quality to the smell, if you can understand what I mean by that. And just a lot of malts. There's not a whole lot going on as far as the aroma's concerned. It's just milky malts is all I'm smelling with this. As you can see, the head is just dissipated down to a film now. So there we go. Not a very complicated aroma. Let's see how it tastes. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, extremely malty. Interesting. It's good. You can definitely taste the little syrupy molasses notes in it. They are faint right now, but I just pulled this out of the fridge, so we're probably looking at 40, 45 degrees right now. And it does not specify anywhere on the bottle of a temperature that they suggest you drink it at. It's extremely sweet up front. A little bit of bitterness does develop at the end of it. And it's just a very sweet, malty beer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let this warm up just a little bit and see if some more of those syrupy molasses kind of tones come out of this, both in aroma and taste, and I'll get right back with you. Alright guys, we're back. I've been letting this sit for about a good 10 to 15 minutes or so. It's still chilled, but it's not ice cold like it was. And that being said, let's see how it's developed. Okay, starting to get more syrupy brown sugar notes now in the aroma. A lot of the milk has kind of been lost and is being replaced with a heavy malt smell, even heavier than before. I think it could actually do with a little bit more warming, but let's go ahead and taste it and just see what the taste has to bring us now that it's warmed up a bit. Yeah, you can definitely taste the oak. I wouldn't call it a bourbon level, but you can taste the woodiness of it. This has a huge boozy note. You can taste the alcohol in this one, especially once you let it warm up a little bit. It's quite prevalent. In the description it says it's deceptively smooth, and I'll give it that. It goes down really easy. The alcohol taste is not high enough to make you think, oh, I'm drinking something that's really high in alcohol. It's a sipping beer, but it's very smooth and it goes down easy, and it is deceptive because I think you could go through a few of these and not know where you're at. I like it. I would call the beer, I would call it simple. It's not overly complex, and I think that's what they were going for. It says, think like old seafaring fishermen, I believe it was. Kind of like just old school style, not a lot of drastic changes, just keeping it, original, and not changing things up too much. And that's what I would call this. It is balanced. It's a very balanced beer. There's nothing too terribly crazy going on, but that's not to say it's boring by any means. We have sweet malts up front, little bitterness in the back, a little bit of alcohol, and some kind of woody oak notes to it. If you let it warm up a bit more, you might be able to pick out maybe some caramel, toffee, vanilla, or bourbon in this, but I think it's going to need to be close to room temperature before you're able to start picking those out. But at that point, the booze may be a little overwhelming at that point. I'm not sure. But as far as the rating goes, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this beer, I'm going to give it a solid 8. It gets a... if we're going by letter grades, I would give it a B+. It's good. It's not the best thing I've ever drank, but it's unique, and that's something to be said for this. I haven't had another beer like this. It's not something that I'm going to probably repeat too terribly often. It's kind of more like you'll have an inkling for this beer, and you'll know it when you have it. It's not something where you would want to go to this every single day like you would an IPA or like a pale ale or something like that. It's something that you have to be in the mood for. Would definitely be great by a campfire or a fireplace, especially on a cold day. It's a sipping beer, very warming. Just the tastes are warming as well. So there you guys go. I'm going to give it a solid 8. I'd say about B+ or so. It's very good. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the review that has been Founders Curmudgeon, and I hope to see you here for the next beer review.